and welcome back to Let's Talk Physical Media. My name is John, and joining me now, maybe forever, who knows, we don't know what's going to be happening with the show going forward, but at least this week, the luckiest woman in the world will be joining me, and that woman's name is Faith Wiliams, and she won the John Keefe sweepstakes many years ago and swooped me off my feet. Faith, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Faith. You pretty much said it, so
Yeah.
I don't really know what else to say.
Well, just tell them how lucky you are, really.
John's a great guy, but I think he's the one that really won. We both won.
Yeah, well, obviously I wasn't good enough for you to take my last name.
Faith Wiliams, that's it.
Yeah, no, I know. The most common last name in the entire world, that's the one that you choose to do.
Yeah, that's my identity, and I like it.
Okay.
So that's,
Well,
I mean, maybe I'll change it one day.
Maybe.
You have to earn it.
We'll just have one. Earn it. Mm-hmm. After all the gifts I've given you, the gift of me, after all these years.
The gift that keeps on giving all year long.
You're damn right. So even though Matt's not here anymore, Let's Talk Physical Media rides on, and we'll be doing it just like how we always do. We're not doing the food this week. We'll see what happens in the future, but we will still be talking about the news. We'll be talking about all of your questions that you want us to talk about, and we'll also be, talking about some sales. Speaking of which, right now going on is Vinegar Syndrome's halfway to Black Friday sale. So if you're a fan of Vinegar Syndrome stuff, you better jump on that because today is the last day that you can actually grab stuff at. They're saying about half price, but some of it's still a little pricey. Showgirls I wanted to grab was still $42. You ever seen Showgirls?
Never saw that movie.
Do you know about it?
No.
Okay, well the guy who directed RoboCop, he directed the movie Showgirls, Paul Verhoeven, and it's basically Jesse Sperano from The Fresh Prince. Not The Fresh
Oh,
Prince.
yeah. From,
Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell. Oh, yeah, I heard about. She was like a stripper or something.
Yes, they're
like
all
that?
strippers.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's not the greatest of movies, but it's a movie. It exists.
It's a movie.
It actually got a sequel, believe it or not. I think it was called Stacking Pennies or something.
I thought you were going to say Showgirls too. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, it's Showgirls 2 Stacking Pennies or something about it, because one of the strippers in the movie's name was Penny. I don't know.
I thought you were going to say they were throwing pennies at them.
Well, that's what I like to do when I go to a strip club, as you know. I don't like to
them, yeah.
People like the money, but I like to make them earn it, so I throw pennies and nickels at them. Plus, it also gives them that little sting.
That's fucked up.
It is fucked up, but it's someone's got to keep everybody in line, right?
Oh my God, you're such an ass.
What?
Oh my God.
So, right off the top, let's dive into some news because there's actually quite a bit of it this week. And today, Arrow Video announced their newest releases for August of 2023. So don't be afraid to shout this out when you, if you know any. That's a My Cousin Vinny reference, which me and Faith both really love.
Yeah, probably top 20.
Oh, 100%. One of Joe Pesci's best. Mrs. Riley and only Mrs. Riley. So coming to the US and UK is Fists of Fury.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it?
No.
Time Bandits is getting a UK release. Now this is a Terry Gilliam movie that's also getting a 4K release in the US from Criterion, which I might pre-order.
Okay.
I don't know. And Wes Craven's The Last House on the Left. That's getting a US
I would like to see that.
Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh, so you know how messed up it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good movie. So that's a good one that's coming.
Unmanned Withering and Zygo. Is that Zygo?
I'll take your word on it. And then Weird Science getting a US, Canada, and
Weird Science?
Yeah, you know Weird Science.
Weird Science.
Well, you know the song. Have you ever seen the movie?
No.
The John Hughes movie?
I didn't even know it was a movie. I thought it was like Bill Nye the Science Guy.
No, it's a movie.
I'm an idiot.
It's a John Hughes movie at that. And
Okay.
actually, believe it or not, Robert Downey Jr. is in it. He plays one of the kids. They make the perfect girl. That's what it is.
So it was me.
No, you weren't in it, actually. I mean, I guess you match up looks-wise, but, I mean, this girl was beautiful, let me tell you.
Yeah, I don't look too good today. I just came from work. John made me do this today of all days, but
Today,
it's okay. You're gonna get what you get, and you're not gonna get upset. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other one was a Film Noir Collection Classics Volume 3 that they're releasing, so that's the third one after Volumes 1 and 2.
Okay.
So that's coming to 4K, it looks like also. These are all August 2023 releases.
Okay.
Is there anything in there you care about?
The Last House on the Left sounded
cool
pretty
one.
good, so
And
that's about it.
up for pre-order from Kino Lorber, we have Needful Things. This is a Stephen King adaptation.
Okay.
It's actually a very cool movie. I really think you'll actually like this one if you've never seen it. But I love Needful Things. I'm really excited for that. I'm going to get that. And it also has 2 cuts because the movie originally had an original cut and now it's a director's cut. So I'm pretty excited to check this one
Okay,
out.
I have a question.
Yes.
When did you watch all these movies?
In my lifetime?
Yeah.
I just always watch movies. As you know, you've seen my skin. I'm not an outdoorsman.
No, obviously I know that. But, like, we've been together 13 years. Mm-hmm. And I've never seen you watch these movies. So all these movies that you say, I've seen, I'm like, I've never seen you watch them.
Well, A, you don't stick around to watch half the movies that I watch.
Well, I fall asleep, but
Yeah.
you do put, like, movies on, and I know what movies you put on.
Yeah, well, I've never watched Needful Things since I've been with you. I can tell you that for a fact. So that's one I haven't seen in our relationship. So I think that you would like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I've seen a lot of movies. There was a time before you and a time... I was going to movies my whole life, you know?
I know that.
It's my biggest...
But the last, I want to say 5 years, you've really been really invested in it.
Well,
But
I
before
started...
then, it's just like, okay, we'll watch something. We usually watch the same, a lot of the same comedies that we like and stuff like that. So it's interesting to hear you talk about movies that I've never heard or seen you watch, but you've seen them. So it's very interesting.
Well, you got to remember also, I bring movies up to you, then you kind of blow by me about them. So you don't...
All the time.
Well, so it's not like, you care when I tell you about a movie. And plus, it's like, how many movies look at our shelves right behind the camera, so you just can't see it. But
It's
all
a
my
lot.
there's a lot of movies on there. But how many of these movies would you actually watch? Like, you're not going to watch a lot from the Criterion Collection. That's not really your
No,
thing.
but sometimes you make me watch them, so.
Well, yeah, because I want to show you some good stuff.
Okay.
I want to teach you. I want to broaden your horizons. It's kind of upsetting that you won't watch all these movies.
But
with
there's
me.
movies that I like that you don't like either, that you won't watch because you say they're horrible movies, but I happen to enjoy it.
Yeah, we're talking about Avatar, the Last Airbender.
How do you know that that's what?
Because I think that movie's atrocious and you absolutely love it.
I like it. I thought it was good. I don't know. I
listen.
enjoyed it. I wish they would make the second one, but people didn't like it.
People hated it. So
I think it's because I didn't watch Avatar as a
yeah,
kid.
you didn't watch the show, so you couldn't get offended by what they were doing.
I just thought the idea of him being able to control just
All the elements.
the elements of the earth is pretty awesome.
That's why I'm excited for the movie Elemental from Pixar. It's about the elements. So, another little bit of news that came out this week. This one actually will interest you. So, Lionsgate apparently got the rights to Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 and Jackie Brown.
Ooh, I love Kill Bill.
1 and 2?
Both of them.
Both of them, yes.
I love them.
So, it's actually its 20th anniversary this year for Volume 1 and next year's 20 years for Volume 2. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I really wish they would do another to kind of complete it. Like, the story's done, but there's so much they could probably do.
Well, I always wanted to see the girl get her revenge, Vivica A. Fox's daughter.
For her, yeah, and there's so many people that could play that role.
Well, I always imagine, you get Uma Thurman's daughter, Maya Hawke, to play, obviously, her daughter, because her daughter's in the movie. Not Maya Hawke, though, in the second Kill Bill movie, though, actually. You could get her, and then I always thought that Zendaya would be a good version of, but she might be too...
No, I think,
Who would you get to play Vivica A. Fox's daughter?
What's that girl? Zizi... what's her Zaza? What's her name? Oh my god. She played in Deadpool.
Oh, Zazie Beetz.
Zazie Beetz. I think she would do a fantastic job. She has that rough and tough exterior a little bit, but still beautiful.
I love Zazie Beetz, by the way.
Still a beautiful woman.
Wasn't she in Atlanta too?
She was.
She was on Atlanta, and she was also my favorite movie from a couple years ago, 9 Days.
Yes, I liked it too.
Yeah, she was
I
great
like that
in
movie too.
So Zazie, that's a good choice, actually. I didn't think about that.
Zendaya is just the typical biracial girl that everybody's using. I love Zendaya. She's a great actress.
Well, she's in Superstardom.
But she has that look of she could play any kind of role. But I think Zazie Beetz, I feel like she is just her look is different. She looks like she would be that Vivica A. Fox's daughter.
That's actually true because they do both. Because
She had the curly hair.
Zazie Beetz was great in Deadpool. Like,
and
so.
she had the curly hair, and Zendaya's hair is different.
Well,
It's
she's
like
always doing things with her hair though, straightening it, putting in braids.
but like I'm just saying, like her natural hair element is curly, and like
it would be cool if they did it. Maybe because Tarantino said he's making his last movie, so the movie critic, that's going to be his last film. So that means we're not going to get that, but maybe he'll sell the rights to somebody that he trusts. Like, that's actually the story, is that Lionsgate bought the rights to Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 and Jackie Brown, and they're giving them new restorations, and we're going to get a new release of it in theaters, which means more than likely we'll get them on 4K at some point. To continue the Tarantino 4K tradition, because there hasn't been too many of his movies released on 4K. Finally, last year we got Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction to go along with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and
I've never
Inglourious
seen
Basterds.
Reservoir Dogs, but I've seen Pulp Fiction.
You've never seen Reservoir Dogs? Even all the times that I've watched it, you've never actually...
I mean, I think maybe I've seen parts, but I always end up like falling asleep.
I gotta show you that. And you're not a big Pulp Fiction fan.
No, I'm not. I'm not really into the violence. That Tarantino does. I mean, I love Kill Bill, and there's a lot of violence.
You loved Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
and I love that too. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was really slow. I felt like, but the end to me was probably some of the best.
It does build up well.
Things I've seen in a movie in a long time.
I just always, in my mind, I always think of the line where he comes out and he's almost crying after he talks to Al Pacino, and he's like,
"It's official, old buddy. Well, has been."
What are you talking about? What did that guy tell you?
Told me the goddamn truth is what he told me.
"Well, it's over, old buddy." And he starts crying. And he's like, "What are you talking about? It's over." He's like, "I'm washed up." or when he's in the trailer and he's just drinking and he's like, "You couldn't just have one or two."
Oh, he's so pissed off at himself. Oh my God.
You had to have 8 whiskey sours, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, he's probably my favorite.
But then
you know that.
Yeah, Leo?
Yeah, you know that he's my favorite.
Leo is one of the best. And then Jackie Brown getting a 4K release. You've seen Jackie Brown, right?
I've seen Jackie.
Yeah.
It's just that song. It just stays in my head.
What song?
And Jackie Brown.
Walking across 110th Street?
Across 110th Street.
Yeah, that's a classic.
110th Street. Yeah, like that song.
And Jackie Brown also introduced me to the Delphonics.
Know you like the Delphonics?
Delphonics?
The Delphonics. You never heard of the Delphonics? Oh, and Jackie Brown, what's his name, finds out about, Jackie Brown shows what's his name, the Delphonics.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's listening to it in the car, and Samuel L. Jackson turns to him and is like the Delphonics, huh?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah.
Oh, I love Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson is perfect. And he's fucking scary in that movie.
He can, like, it's his voice.
His iconic voice.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I was actually just watching Goodfellas for the 35th time last night, and I always forget that Samuel L. Jackson pops up in there as Stax. So he gets his brains blown out.
I love that movie. That's such a good movie, too.
Goodfellas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's basically it as far as news that we're getting. There isn't really too much else going on as far as news goes, so there was a couple announcements. Now that you're on the show, anything kind of movies you want to talk about before we dive into the questions? Like, has there been anything are you excited for next week with the new Into the Spider-Verse coming out?
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot that was coming out.
June 2nd.
My sister Carmela, she was talking about it, and she said she had tickets to go. I think that's probably my... actually, I like the Tom Holland Spider-Mans, but I'm happy that they made a second one. It was so popular that they had no other choice.
Well, I think it's a part 1 of 2 parts, if I'm correct.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from what I understand, it's actually going to be 2 parts, this movie.
Oh, so I might be kind of upset leaving the movie theater.
Well, thank God you didn't see Fast X, because if you want to be upset about leaving a movie, that movie... I mean, listen, I liked Fast X, but Matt said it in last week's. He's never seen a movie where they literally don't answer any questions, and that's how that movie ends. That's it. It ends on a cliffhanger for everyone. And we're not talking like Infinity War, where you close some plots and then we get the big snap.
Yeah.
No. This movie, they're walking away, and we have no idea what everyone's up to, except for Jason Momoa, because Jason Momoa.
I love him.
Oh, he was the best part of that movie.
He's so good.
That movie would. I know. I've been compared to him. Actually.
Yep, and I'm Halle Berry.
No, you are not.
I know. So,
with a little more effort, though, you can be.
Fuck off. I'm excited for that.
What about the Mission Impossibles? Because Dead Reckoning comes out in July.
I'm excited for that too.
Because I'm actually going to start reviewing all the 4Ks on the channel coming up leading up to it. Because I haven't watched those in a while, so I'm pretty excited for that.
I feel like we just did.
We watched some. Like, I like to float around. I put Ghost Protocol on all the time just because I love Ghost Protocol.
Yeah.
And I skipped 2. I'm not really looking forward to 2. 3's all right. Philip Seymour Hoffman's great in that. And then 5 and 6 were awesome.
Yeah.
Fallout was great. We saw that in the movies, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Henry Cavill with that mustache looked like a badass.
He should have kept that mustache.
He should have kept that mustache. They should have let Superman keep that mustache in Justice League. They CGI'd out the mustache, if you can believe that. It's just unbelievable to me that that's what they do. They thought that was okay.
So if you were an actor, right, and they said, I don't like your look, we're going to do this, would you approve it, or would you be like...
Yeah, I mean, if I was an actor and they asked me to do something, absolutely, as long as they're paying. I don't care what they want me to do. I'm not a proud man. I'll do anything.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, that's why I'm willing to pop my shirt off again. It's been a while since I popped.
Please don't.
Okay. I mean, you've begged for it before. All right, well, let's dive into the Q&A because believe it or not, we actually have a really good amount. So let's give us some more talking points. Yeah, we actually got a lot of questions. And a lot of them are directed towards you, believe it or not. So people are excited. They're like, oh, Faith, I like her.
That little girl.
And the first one is from Rico Gomez, and he wrote,
Hi, Rico.
He wrote, what is the best date movies to watch for male and female, where both enjoy the movie a lot? Titanic, of course, is a no-brainer. But
Okay. So, we are not the average couple.
No.
At all. We're not the average romantic, go see a romance. Like, that's not us at all. So, like, a date night for us would be John Wick or something like that, or maybe a Marvel movie.
What was the last time we saw a romantic movie together?
No, we don't do that. It's not like in our... We're both not... Because I was just talking to him about Forgetting Sarah Marshall. That, to me, is like the most romantic thing, I feel like.
Yeah, because I don't think I own the Notebook, but you don't know. I don't think you've ever even seen it, or if you have,
I've seen the Notebook.
But we've never watched that together.
No, because I don't... It's not something that intrigues me. And I feel like I'll take an action movie over that. Like I'm more like Matt.
Yeah,
with my movie taste. Not saying I can't watch a movie that has like serious dialogue, because I do like those kind of movies, but I'm more of a action movie, and like, you know, the Marvel movies, John Wick's, those are probably... They have to be some of my favorite movies, because I can just watch them anytime. More than you. I feel like I like them more than you.
You are definitely more of an action fan than me, 100%. Because I prefer things that are a little bit more dialogue heavy. I mean, I don't like action for the sake of action, but you do. You like a lot of those junk action movies.
I feel like the action is underrated because there's an art to it. Like John Wick, is beautiful.
Oh yeah, the stunt work in that is insane.
It's a dance.
It is.
It's a dance.
Yeah, it is.
You know, so
Life's a dance.
I love that. It's funny because...
Well, to be clear with everybody, I might watch a lot of movies, but Faith here watches more TV in a month than I probably watch in a 4-year span.
If I could start my own channel, yes, with TV shows, in my opinion on where things are going to go, or how shows ended or started. I watch everything from reality TV, which people I know hate, from...
You watch prestige dramas and everything like that? Mm-hmm. You're watching that one on HBO right now with Elizabeth Olsen?
Love and Death, which is absolutely fantastic. Do not watch the Hulu one version of that story. Watch the HBO Max version, Love and Death. Because
it's just Max now.
It's just Max, yeah. But yeah, I'm more of a TV person, but I'll put on a movie.
No, you will, because you just also, speaking of which, you just watched What New White Men Can't Jump.
I liked it.
Yeah, you did, which surprised me because I heard it was bad, and I loved the original one. It's one of my favorites.
I felt like the story was simple. It was a simple story, but...
Well, their names the same? Was
no.
So no Sidney Dean?
Nope, it was just two guys that have very similar stories. One just happens to be white and the other one's black. And because the character who Jack Harlow plays is like a hippie looking kind of guy, people assume he can't play ball, and he's good.
Yeah. Well, that,
You know, and
do they
they both-
hustle like Woody Harrelson was hustling?
They were hustling, but not really. Like, they just can play ball. So they would just go to the park and say, okay, $200 for this game, and whoever wins, wins. It wasn't like a trick. They weren't trying to trick people. One of the guys was, like, so popular in high school that he's kind of was like LeBron going to the NBA, and then he messed up by having anger issues, and it caused him to lose everything, pretty much. I don't want to give the whole movie away. But, yeah, so it's just like they both had their own issues. One had an injury, the other one had that. So it's both about two people who love basketball.
And then that blossoms into a friendship, I assume?
They became really good friends.
Huh. Sounds interesting. I kind of just immediately wrote it off, so... I mean, that's on me.
But you don't like those kind of movies. Anything that's kind of like cheesy, you're not really into.
I like
the
cheesy.
new cheese.
Like, I like cheesy.
You don't like modern cheese, though. You like 80s cheese.
80s cheese is the best cheese. You know, like modern...
80s cheese is the best cheese. I can't stand you.
I'm just saying, like, if we're going to be picking cheesy movies, I'm always going to shoot for an 80s movie because, you know, they also have intentionally cheesy movies. Like, some of these movies, they're just cheesy because they're just bad writing, sloppy writing.
Yeah, I get that.
You know, that, and then it just comes off like that unintentional laughing moment. I'm like, I don't really need that.
Like, with this movie, you knew what was going to happen. There was no surprise. I felt like there was...
You knew it was coming?
Yeah. I've seen it again and again and again. But it was still good. I like Jack Harlow. He was good.
You know, the movie tropes are out there for a reason because they work, you know, for the most part. Like, I just saw About My Father, the new Sebastian Maniscalco and Robert De Niro movie, and that is just movie trope city. You've seen that movie before. It's nothing special, and, you know, but it's still, it's all right. You know, it's all right. It's nothing special. It's nothing that you write home about, but you can watch it, have a good time. We would have had fun, I think, if we would have saw that in the movies. 90 minutes in and out, no problem.
Yeah.
I think we would have enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah, I'm weird, though, because movies sometimes give me anxiety.
Yeah, you have an anxiety about seeing new movies, which is strange.
Yeah, because I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
It's the fear of the unknown, especially, like, with horror. Horror is like,
You don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I get scared.
You do get scared. Nothing scares me in horror. I just want it to be a good movie. A good, interesting movie. And this was from Uncle V.
Oh,
you know,
God.
Uncle V's the guy who...
Oh, jeez.
Let
me see. Is it something about sex?
I don't think so.
Okay, good job, Uncle V.
What's the first movie you guys ever saw together? Okay. And what's a movie you force each other to watch even though your SO doesn't particularly care for it? Significant other is what SO stands for.
Okay, so... it was Just Go With It.
Just Go With It. The Adam Sandler, Jennifer Aniston movie. So
that was our first movie. And I am the biggest Adam Sandler fan.
You are. That's one of my favorites.
So I love him.
That's why we went, because you told me you were a big Adam Sandler fan. I took you. It was our second date, if you remember. I don't remember if we went to a classy joint. It was either TGI Fridays. Was it Chili's? It was one of the two. I knew it was one of the chains.
Because it was Island 16, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Chili's.
So yeah, we went out to a nice classy dinner, and then we went over there and we got some popcorn, some soda, and we enjoyed ourselves a little Adam Sandler movie. That movie was pretty funny, actually. I like Just Go With It.
Yeah.
You know, him and Jennifer Aniston have great chemistry.
Yeah. I think they're good.
They did the two murder mystery movies, and they were pretty good. I didn't see the second one.
Oh, the murder mystery movies. Those are like my kind of movies.
Yeah, you like dumb movies. Because like you said, you bought stock on Adam Sandler a long time ago. And
my favorite, top 3 movies would include...
Well, wait till you don't.
Oh,
we got a question for your favorite movies later.
Okay.
So, just say you like Adam Sandler.
I like Adam Sandler. Okay.
So that's our first movie. A movie that you forced me to watch that I don't particularly love is probably one of your favorite movies ever, which is Clueless. I like Clueless, and it's a good movie, but it doesn't need to be watched 3 to 7 times a year. That's the problem with Clueless.
No. It needs to be watched because it's a masterpiece. It is iconic. The music's iconic. Just everything. The clothes, the pens that she had, the outfits, the way she spoke. It developed into what we, like me and my sisters and the girls that were in my schools, what we were, how we talked, just how we saw fashion. That is why that movie is so iconic to me. And it's nostalgia.
Yeah, no, I get that.
You know?
Listen, that's why my favorite movie is The Terminator.
Which is the movie that you forced me to watch.
But haven't you come around on it?
Oh, no, I'm not saying that, but it's the same way as you came around to Mean Girls.
Yes, it did take me a long time to come around to Mean Girls, which now I consider a comedy classic. That movie. The last time I watched it was the first time I actually was like, wow, this is a good movie. I have been really casting shade on a movie that doesn't deserve it.
Because it's the name.
Yeah. And
It's, you know, it's the idea. Even, like, Clueless, I feel like, is the same thing. It's like, I'm a man. I shouldn't like these kind of movies because I'm a man.
I've never been like that, though. One of my favorite movies from a few years ago was Little Women.
But how long does it get you does it take for you to get into the idea of, okay, I'm able to watch, say it's one of my favorites or enjoy it?
I've never cast a movie aside because of it.
Mean Girls, you said you did.
I just didn't love it. That's all it was. I just didn't enjoy it. I saw it when it came out. Lindsay Lohan was on top of the world back in 2004. She even had an album out that year, if you remember.
I'm not saying that you didn't see it, but I think now, looking back at it, you're like, wow, I did kind of miss out on...
I just feel like sometimes movies grow on you, and you learn to love them. I feel like...
Yeah, well, that's something like I like about Terminator.
Yeah.
Because I hated Terminator.
Yes, you did.
I thought it just didn't look good to me. It's too dark.
You're lucky I stayed with you after that.
But I will say that now I can watch Terminator anytime. I like it.
It's a masterpiece.
I like the first and second.
Like, I almost broke down...
The new ones, no.
I almost broke down in tears when you asked me to watch RoboCop. And I was like, really? RoboCop? It's like, that's my love language.
Yeah, I like RoboCop, though. I don't like the beginning when they're killing him, but...
They did go a little far with blowing his arms
and they're laughing.
What blows my mind is that he was still alive after that. Like, they still had, they tried to save him. I'm like, this guy just took about 40 shotgun blasts.
He has nothing left.
Nothing.
He was a piece of a
man.
Yeah. He was nothing. He was half a body.
Yeah, and then they stretched him out and freaking threw him in there. And then the guy from, actually, I wanted to bring that up in my Guardians review, was that the guy looked like RoboCop, but Chris Pratt brought it up in the movie and ruined my joke.
No.
Called me out of my own joke. You believe that shit?
He's a funny guy.
Yeah. So I guess that's the movie. What other movies? I mean, I force you to watch, because for the most part, I pick movies, and Faith usually just watches them, because she doesn't care as much, and I watched a lot of movies, and there's a lot of movies of hers I can't do it, just because I get, they're just not good, and I get frustrated, so.
I don't think it's, so there was 2 movies this summer, I think I showed you, right? Was it The Best Man?
We watched the 2 Best Man's movies.
Yeah.
That's The Best Man's Wedding and the Best Man.
And I love those movies.
The first one was better than the second, I thought.
Okay.
So the first one is actually a real, true indie movie that's a pretty good movie. The second one just felt like, let's run it back and see what we get. But you liked it, and then they also did a Hulu show, right?
Which I liked, and it gave the ending to those characters, which I liked.
Yeah, Terrence Howard is great every time he pops up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I did like them. I didn't hate them. What other movies do you force me to watch? We saw a lot of Tyler Perry movies, and some are good and some are bad.
We saw... What did we see in the movie?
That's the movie, the AIDS movie that Tyler Perry did. What was
the AIDS movie. It was called... now it's going to be in my head. Man.
I can't remember. Actually, I remember not hating it, but we never saw it again.
I've seen it again.
Have you?
But he does a lot of movies that are like, I hate men. Kind of like For Color Girls. That was all like, men are horrible. And I don't buy into that. But Temptation, that's what it was called. Temptation turned it around a little bit and put it on the woman.
Made the woman the villain. Maybe that was him playing with the trope of people always saying, like you just said, that like, he hates women. Or men, rather. I don't know. But yeah, those are a lot that you have forced me. I mean, it's too many for me to say how many I forced you to watch. I definitely am the forcer in that sense.
Yeah.
It's probably like 5-1. I would say.
Yeah. And then I like to try to get him to watch shows, but he's too busy with you guys.
Yeah, I gotta watch movies. Movies and film, and that's all I do now, so... Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, not unfortunately, I love watching movies. Movies are the absolute best thing that ever happened to planet Earth. And then you.
Oh, thank you.
You can always be runner-up, isn't that nice?
All right,
let's move on to the next question. That's a great question, though, Uncle V. Thank you very much. And this one's from my buddy Shamrock Balls. And me and Shamrock are actually, by the time this video's out, we already had filmed We're going back into the 007s, and I needed a partner for it. And Shamrock Balls happens to be a big fan of the James Bond movies, so it's a match made in heaven. And he asked you this: What does Faith think of the movie Jaws? LOL. Because he knows that I've been on here knocking Jaws for...
Don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Jaws.
Don't like shark movies at all.
Even Jaws, right?
Even Jaws. I think that was the dumbest town ever alive.
Amity Island.
And they're making it like Long Island, right?
It's supposed to be Long Island. Filmed it in Martha's Vineyard, so actually I don't know where that is.
I think
it's
that's
off upstate or it's
Martha's Vineyard is California, I think.
Maybe I'm not thinking of the right place.
But I just think they're dumb. This could have all been avoided.
Well, honestly, we thought they were dumb until we actually found out that that's how the real people in political places think.
That's how the countries run.
It's historically accurate in that sense. Then
it's like,
but
don't worry, don't worry. Only one person got bit. All right, now only two, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's so I don't like it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Jaws, because I forgot to bring this up. Jaws 2 is now available for pre-order as well. It's got a steelbook version and it's got a regular 4K version, and it's $20 on Groove.com if you could believe that. So.
If you like it, I love it.
I'm going to watch it because I haven't seen Jaws 2 in a very, very long time.
But you don't like Jaws.
I don't.
That's something I don't understand about you. But
what?
That you watch things that you don't enjoy.
I try. And Jaws is a big one because, as you know, Steven Spielberg directed Jaws, and he's one of the most famous directors ever. Jaws is literally one of the most popular movies ever. You know how many people I know whose favorite movie is Jaws? Shamrock Balls' favorite movie is Jaws. My cousin Dennis, Matt loves Jaws.
There's no disrespect to people that like the movie. It's just, again, it's not my thing.
I know, but I feel like I'm missing out. It's like I feel like I should love Jaws, and I don't understand why I don't love it. So I keep going back in hopes that eventually it'll rub off, and kind of like Mean Girls. Eventually, I learned to love Mean Girls. Maybe one day I'll put Jaws in, and I'll get that feeling that people get. When people consider something their favorite movie, and I can't fall in love with it, I have a hard time.
I don't understand how that's somebody's favorite movie, but
Jaws isn't just anybody's favorite movie. It's a lot of people's favorite movie. It's probably one of the most popular movies ever. That's how crazy. To a certain generation, because I feel like our age group, Spielberg was probably Jurassic Park.
And I don't like Jurassic Park.
You don't like Jurassic Park, huh?
It's not my favorite, no.
What is your favorite Spielberg, now that we're here?
I like E.T. Spielberg is not, he's a lot of people's favorites. He's not mine.
He's not my favorite director either, but he's up there for me. It's not like,
He doesn't make movies that cater to me.
He makes blockbusters. He makes action-adventure films. You're not a big fan of the Indiana Jones movies either, right?
Can I admit something? I haven't seen them.
I'm reviewing them. You could have just watched them with me.
I didn't know you were watching them, but okay.
That's disappointing.
I'm sorry. What am I supposed to do?
Well, I mean, we can rectify that. I'm looking at them right now. They do look beautiful. They're nice 4Ks.
Something about it just doesn't... I mean, I think I would like them because it's like them fighting Nazis.
Well, Nazis are the villains, yeah.
So, maybe I would enjoy it. And they're coming out with another one, too, so...
In June, and I will be seeing that. And, spoiler alert, the reviews have not been the greatest out of the gate, but it's Indiana Jones, and I will be seeing it in theaters because it's Indiana Jones. It's the last time that we get to see Harrison Ford put on the hat, so I'm there day one. Definitely. And it's not directed by Steven Spielberg, the new one. It's actually directed by James Mangold, who did Logan.
Oh, I liked Logan.
Logan is great.
That was pretty dark, Logan. So hopefully it goes.
Well, James Mangold does a lot of movies. He also did Ford v Ferrari, and I believe he did the movie Identity, Copland. He's done a lot. I remember Identity. Identity was great. And it has a good twist. I really like Identity a lot. So you should definitely check out Identity if you haven't seen it. Let's see as far as what our next question is. Lorenzo Harris, man of God, he wrote, what are 5 rom-coms and 5 romantic movies from any genre that you guys would recommend to other couples?
So, similar question to the first one.
Yes, but 5
rom-coms? Okay.
Well, we said Forgetting Sarah Marshall. That's probably the ultimate for us, because that movie is just great. I just went from 6 to midnight. Of course I would love to sell you some pop, but as you know, since you called called me at my place of business that I can't right now.
I would say Wedding Crashers
Wedding Crashers
is technically a rom-com.
Oh, 100%. I definitely would recommend that. Yeah, rom-coms we have a hard time with. I mean, I personally think one of the, maybe the greatest rom-com ever is Pretty Woman.
Over you, I know I will. I'll pretend my ship's not sinking.
I love Pretty Woman.
Yeah,
Richard Gere
yeah.
and why am I drawing a blank? Julia Roberts? Julia Roberts.
I could see that.
That's a good one. I don't know if that's a couple's rom-com, though. It's about, I guess.
We're more into, like, comedies.
Yeah, we definitely...
So, like, rom-com comedies, but, like, we're really we're into, like, inappropriate comedies.
Yeah, we have a very dumb sense of humor. That's definitely where we overlap, is in our comedy.
So, what else would we consider? Like, what do we put on?
Like, what movies do we put on, like, I mean, we like Liar Liar a lot. We watch that one a lot.
That's not a rom-com, though.
No, there's no romance. It's a father-son movie, really.
So, no, we're just talking about, like, he wants to know, like, rom-com. So I'm just, like, trying to think.
Because I was just thinking Julia Roberts. Didn't you like... Oh, actually, what was that movie that came out a few years ago that had Keanu Reeves in it? He had one scene. It was I thought it was actually really good. It was on Netflix. It had, I want to say, something Park in it. The guy from that show Blockbuster, and he was in the MCU. Keanu Reeves had a great little cameo in it where he had the headphones on and he was eating.
My eyes are perfect. This is for a part. They don't even have lenses in them.
Remember what I was talking? You know what I'm talking about? No, that movie was good.
No.
That was a good rom-com. We had fun with that too. I can't even think of the name.
I don't know. We're not really... That's not something that, like, we're just more into, like, straight comedy.
Yeah, and we really... when we're together, we also watch a lot of sitcoms. Mm-hmm. So, for example, like, we are big How I Met Your Mother fans.
That is my favorite show of all time.
Mm-hmm. And then Always Sunny.
I think Jason Segel just does it for me.
Well, you've said that we have similar personalities.
Oh,
right?
you and him.
Well, Marshall.
Okay, so when you watch Forgetting Sarah Marshall, he's making a musical. The weirdest musical ever. It's about Dracula.
It's a great musical.
But, the girl, his, like, original girlfriend, didn't find it funny at all. But if I would have heard, like, if you do stuff like that, I always think it's funny. Like, that our sense of humor is the same.
Well, that's
just
why.
Like,
yeah. That's why Kristen Wiig didn't end up with him, but he got lucky in the back end of that. He ended up getting
so
Mila
much
Kunis.
better.
Yeah, he traded. Oh, don't insult. What's her? I said Kristen Wiig. It's not Kristen Wiig. What's her name? I mean, come on. How are we not from The Good Place? How am I drawing a blank on her?
But she's hilarious, though.
She is. Everything. I love her.
Hilarious.
She's also funny. I like her in real life. She's married to Dax Shepard. She's great. I love her. What is her name, though? I
don't remember. Anyway, so...
And we also really love Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia, absolutely. We're just into comedy. Anything that can get us... That's our love language.
We like to laugh.
That really is part of our love language. If I was with somebody, like Wedding Crashers...
Baba Ganoush.
Yeah. Like, Pineapple Express.
Oh, we have a lot of fun with Pineapple Express.
Just a bunch of comedies that we can just put on at any point. Anything Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell, yeah. Will Ferrell, especially in the early 2000s, he was firing on all cylinders.
Oh, yes. Anything. I like stand-up, too. We could put a stand-up on, like we
had a great time. If you guys are looking for a good stand-up, John Mulaney's new stand-up on Netflix.
Oh, my goodness.
Hysterical.
Oh, my goodness.
God. And, he doesn't leave anything off the table. He's willing to talk about all of his addiction, would let him out of it, and it's hysterical. Definitely check it out.
And it's funny to say, like, we're like, you're making fun of your addiction, and it's funny, but that's his therapy, you know?
I mean, I make fun of everything, so...
Oh, yeah, you do.
I have a very bad...
Trust me, I know.
It's a problem, actually, because I make a joke out of everything.
Everything.
It's just, that's what I like to do. I think things are funny. So, unfortunately, it can be inappropriate at times, but... I gotta be me, But yeah, Scrubs is another big one. That's actually, I just saw that their podcast came back on another episode. Fake Doctors but Real Friends.
Yeah.
You like them. Mm-hmm. So that's another one. Yeah.
Zach Braff is awesome.
Zach Braff is great.
He's an awesome person, yeah.
I've heard things. I heard he's not at all. I heard he's kind of...
Really?
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is the only thing I've heard.
That's something about you. Is like you I don't take what people say because people could say something about me.
I mean,
and
you
it's
can
not true.
you can catch somebody on the wrong day, and like it could have been like their worst day ever, and then you just write them off as a piece of shit because of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get that. I get that. If you catch me in a
Because didn't
bad,
they do that to somebody else?
Bruce Willis, but Kevin Smith did say like I guess they did have problems when they were making what's the movie with him and Terry Morgan, Cop Out.
Cop Out. And
Yeah.
I love Cop Out.
I know, which is crazy. That's Faith's favorite freaking Kevin Smith movie is Cop Out, which
Well, no. I like Jay and Silent Bob.
which one?
The first.
First one?
Yeah.
They're both good though. The remake is good too.
Yeah.
So
We like Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted, yeah, Bill and Ted's a great
That's
one.
something that we really enjoy. But yeah, we're not really the sit down and be romantic type.
We're not even like romantic in our relationship.
No.
We're more like fucking best friends than anything. So we like
we're romantic.
we're still romantic. Yeah.
But like it's just we're not we've been together for 13 years, and it's to a point where you have to be friends first, and the romance comes when we just lay down together and just hang out, and that's where it is. It doesn't matter what we put on the TV. It doesn't make us like, it's, I don't know, we're just we like scary movies too, like horror, so.
Yeah, but you cover your eyes sometimes. Which is crazy
tell people
because
that.
Faith's sister is Salem Seller, if you guys know that, who she is. So
she's awesome, so check her
yeah,
out.
definitely subscribe to her. But she's a horror nut. Well, she literally, to calm down, puts horror movies on. And then my wife, sometimes I gotta she'll cover her eyes. She can't take it. I'm like, you grew up with your sister who will watch somebody get stabbed 1,000 times.
And for
I can't believe it.
To calm her down, she watches The Terrifier too. So put in perspective, she's different than me.
Yes, which
She's
makes
different.
sense. You've seen my siblings. We are not the same. I'm short. They're tall. All of them. Unfortunately,
All same.
All the same. All of them. Fuck them.
Same. All my sisters.
Well, yeah, but you, in their defense, you are like the world's shortest person.
But they're also tall. Taller than you.
A lot of people are taller than me. It's not fair.
I'm just saying.
I got screwed over. That's why when I stand next to you, I feel tall. Because even though I'm only 5'5", Fate's 4'10", so it's like, when you stand next to somebody who works at a chocolate factory, you can always feel tall. You do love The Wizard of Oz, though.
I do not like The Wizard of Oz.
Not The Wizard of Oz. I'm sorry. I always get the titles mixed up. Isn't that weird? I don't know why. My whole life. I think it's the W. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yes. Are you calling me Oompa Loompa?
That's not what I said. I said you used to work at a chocolate factory.
Wow.
I do want to watch Willy Wonka now. We did a review on the channel for Willy Wonka, me and Faith, because she loves that movie, actually, believe it or not. Long time ago, in the early days. You haven't been on here since?
No. I'm not a camera person. I'm camera shy.
Well, if they like you, you're going to have to stick around, so.
Don't like me, guys.
Huh?
Write hate mail.
If you do write hate mail, make sure you do direct it towards her, because I will not respond, and that's hurtful and mean.
Oh, it's okay.
I'll get over it. If you guys hear that barking, that's our dogs, because usually, I'll be filming, she'll be calming them down. Now we're letting them have free reign of the house, so... any car that comes by, or a rabbit, or a squirrel, we got to deal with that.
All right. What's the next question, buddy?
Okay, I think this is the last one, actually. Oh, there's a couple questions in here. What are some movies Faith is looking to see in theaters this year? That's the first question.
Okay.
What is Faith's top 5 favorite movies of all time? And then it says, Faith, what movie best represents your marriage to John? So we'll take those on one at a time. Although the last question, what movie best represents your marriage to John? I think the best way to describe our marriage would be the movie The Money Pit. Have you guys ever seen that with Tom Hanks? And how the house just keeps falling apart? We own one of those houses. Oh, not as nice, either.
Well, okay. So, when we first... The Money Pit, definitely. Or Christmas Vacation, because John is a disaster like him.
I mean well.
Just means great, but just doesn't know what he's doing at all.
Ever. Nope.
And he puts on a front like he knows what he's doing.
Exactly. Yeah, I guess I am Chevy Chase.
So, yeah, but Money Pit. And, okay, again, like Christmas Vacation, because you say, oh, I could do this, and I could do that, and I could do that, but you don't know how to do it at all. So you just make me believe that you know how to do certain things and you can't do it. So like that's why it's a money pit. Because if you buy a home, you have to be prepared to know how to fix things and fix on things. But he'll just say, "Oh no, that's how it's supposed to be." I'm like, "Oh, it's the door's supposed to hang off the hinge, like." That's how it's supposed to be. So yeah, but we're fixing it little by little.
Yeah. I mean, we've been here for 6 years.
Well, we fixed our bathroom, we fixed the bedroom, so room by room.
Okay.
It's a lot. But yeah, that's pretty much our marriage. Would be like I'm like the relaxed one, like Christmas Vacation, like she is, and then you're the one who's
Flies off the handle.
Gets stressed out over little things.
All the time. It's the story of my life.
And you want things to be perfect.
Never is. Except for me. My body's perfect, though, right?
God.
And what is your top 5 favorite movies of all time?
Okay, so this is hard. Me and him, I actually read this question.
Yeah, unlike Matt, Faith actually did her homework. Matt, I would just give him the questions. Faith actually wanted to give you guys real answers.
But, so this is really hard for me because... Okay, Billy Madison. Okay, so this is not in order.
Okay.
Billy Madison is in my top 5. I think that's one of my favorite comedies ever. I just loved it since I was a little kid. I think I saw it way too young. Clueless.
Clueless is good. I know you like that. Not my favorite, but that's basically the movie you've watched a billion times since we've been together.
Mm-hmm. I would say...
Didn't you say Friday?
No.
Oh,
Friday is probably in my top 10. There was something else that I took out for Friday. What was that?
Was Mean Girls in your top 5?
Yes, Mean Girls was in my top 5.
Scream.
Yes, Scream was in there. You see, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I could probably do Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber is a classic.
So those are my... And people look at me like Billy Madison, but I just love Adam Sandler.
Yeah. It's too hot for a penguin to be walking around.
Just the fact that, like, the bus breaks down, you find them eating the sandwiches, and just, like... You know, just everything in that movie. I don't think there was not a funny part in that movie.
Carl, good to see you.
Like everything is just, I love those movies. Like I said, Clueless is just iconic. Mean Girls is iconic. Scream is iconic. I just like movies that have impacts on the next movies coming up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like the originals. For me, Clueless is the original to those movies.
I get that.
To a coming-of-age movies for the girls in the 90s.
For the girls in the 90s, I was going to say, because coming-of-age really, there's a ton of them, especially just all time, but like in the 80s, that's what John Hughes did, was put out coming-of-age.
So, I don't know if John mentions, but we like to indulge once in a while in a joint. So I like a lot of pothead movies too.
Yes, you like stoner comedies.
Yeah, I guess that's how you call stoner comedies.
I mean, it's a genre. I mean, you got like literally Cheech and Chong.
But that's why
Pineapple
Friday's in there.
Yeah, I saw that on list. I don't consider that a stoner comedy, but people do. I don't get that.
Yeah, I mean, but my top 5 isn't really my top 5. It should be like a top 20. Because it
is hard. I've had a hard time with that.
I am a huge Star Wars fan.
Yes, you are.
Huge Star Wars.
She has numerous Star Wars.
And I don't know if you could see, but me and him actually have
matching tattoos.
How do we do this here?
It's supposed to be the other way. Like I love you and I know.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Yeah, it might be hard to see. But anyway, we got matching tattoos.
I love Harry Potter.
Yep.
But there's so many Harry Potters that you can't really put them in like a top 5. Harry Potter is something I could put on anytime. Mm-hmm. I love them. Mm-hmm. I like a lot of Marvel movies too.
Yeah,
Captain America is probably my favorite of those. There's a bunch. So I had to put Scream because that's like my favorite scary movie. What's your favorite scary movie? Yeah. You know?
When we called that, you hit me with the phone, you dick!
Oh my, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's got the cup. Well, Matthew Lillard's great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Matthew.
He's like, I thought she was dead. She looked it.
Still does.
Still does.
This improv comedy is just great.
Yeah. So
I feel a little woozy here.
Yeah, so I love all that.
Yeah, no, that's all good. So then the last question that he asked you was, what was you looking forward to seeing in the theater this year? This is from Frank Rodriguez. I don't know.
I don't even know what's coming out.
Well, I told you that the Flash movie's coming out, which you said you don't want to see because of Ezra Miller, which I understand. You also, but I mean, I have to see it as a Michael Keaton.
I don't know. I feel like what they're doing to Jonathan Majors is kind of.
Like, how does Ezra Miller get away with it?
Yeah.
But then Jonathan,
yeah.
But, you know, let's hold back on Jonathan Majors because he hasn't been officially replaced
No, I
yet.
mean, I'm not saying,
So,
good or bad.
Because Marvel actually has been pretty good so far in the sense that they didn't jump the gun and fire him
I felt like they only did that because of James Gunn.
Because they fucked up with James Gunn. And they fucked up bad, and now he's the head of DC.
Yep.
Yeah, nah, I know.
And that's going to change a lot of things.
I'm just upset that we don't get more Guardians movies because I absolutely love those movies. And he was
I
perfect
think
for
those
it.
are like one of your favorites.
My best trilogy. I
think it's the music.
Yeah,
for you.
I'm a big, when it comes to music, like, I go deep on movies. Like, I'll give you a movie that you've never even heard of and tell you how much I love it. But when it comes to music, I love pop music. I call it bubblegum pop. I'm just not I like the hits. You know, when it comes to music, I like things that are going to cheer me up or make me feel sad. And I know it's manipulating me, but that's what I enjoy. So, like, when I'm not, Faith's more of the music person. Like, you know, that's her first love is music.
Yeah.
She's more of like, you know, we've gone to a bunch of stuff. I remember we went to Summer Jam together.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Remember that guy in those fucking boots looked ridiculous. He was wearing military boots with jeans tucked in there.
John's not really into going to live shows.
I can't see a goddamn thing.
So I kind of miss out on that. But I love music. I listen to a ton of music. I'm also a big crime junkie.
Yes, you are.
I love true crime. I love to listen pretty much all day long about different stories. And, you know, that's some of my hobbies that I like.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of what movies coming out this year you would be thrilled to see. Other than, you know, like I said, Elemental, you don't really care.
I really haven't been keeping up with what's coming out or not.
I know. Well, I go to the movies every week, and a lot of time I go by myself.
Well, I go with you.
Yeah, we're going to go, it's Sunday, but tomorrow we're going to see The Little Mermaid, so Faith's excited about that. Because you did love the original, right? It's one of your favorite. Is it your favorite Disney movie?
No.
What's your favorite Disney movie?
Ooh, that's wow.
Oh, I know mine. It's The Lion King.
I like Aladdin.
You do like Aladdin. And you like the remake, too, Will Smith, right? Yeah, actually, you know what? Out of the remakes, that wasn't the worst. The worst one was The Lion King. That one, I was like offended.
Yeah, that wasn't even,
You know, most people hate the Beauty and the Beast one, but we had fun with that, too.
Yeah.
We did, you know?
I like Aladdin. Hercules. I'm not the typical Lion King, and...
How dare you?
You know. I like the Lion King, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I like Hercules. Maybe the music in Hercules was more upbeat. Aladdin was a little bit upbeat.
I mean, The Lion King, the Circle of Life.
Yeah, but that's slow. I like the upbeat.
Builds. It
well,
builds.
That's your opinion.
Yeah. It's just
We
like
have
your
different
opinion, man.
music taste.
We have very different music taste.
So it's...
We do not overlap on music.
No, I like R&B, rap, you know.
I like I said, the pop hits.
Pop, 80s.
Yeah, mostly
nonsense. 80s. Meatloaf.
Meatloaf is the best. How dare I not like Meatloaf? So, hopefully we answered all your guys' questions, and maybe if you guys enjoyed this episode, we'll have Faith back on. Let us know in the comment section what you thought of this, what you guys want to see going forward with Let's Talk Physical Media. Like we said, it'll stay alive in some form or another. Whatever you guys want us to do with it, we'll do it. So leave those comments in the comment section below, and if you're listening to this on all podcast services, you know, come over to YouTube. You can watch the video form. Whatever one you do, just make sure you like it, subscribe, give it a 5-star rating. Then after you're done doing all of that, grab your significant other, and if you don't have one, do whatever you need to do.
That's sad.
Okay, I'm not going to say that then.
No, keep it. The fact that I said, oh, that's sad.
Some people don't want to have significant others, you know?
But, you know.
Like that. So that's a choice for some people. Some people don't want to be married, and, you know, we got to respect those people. But if you don't, either way or, I want you guys to all go out in the streets and tell all your friends about us. We'll be seeing you around.